Hey guys, sorry I can't make a traditional video, but I am in the midst of finals, so I have to get back to my schoolwork ASAP. But I had to check in really quick with you guys just to tell you my thoughts on the election tonight. So as you already know, Bernie Sanders lost 4 of the 5 states, and in Missouri, where he came the closest, he only is about 0.4 ahead of Hillary Clinton. So it's effectively a tie there. They're going to take home about the same amount of delegates. So overall, this is a horrible night, honestly. So I'll tell you guys the facts. Here's the thing. His prospects of winning have diminished after tonight, honestly. Now, I'll give you some good news, and then I'm going to give you the bad news. So when it comes to the good news, it is the case that Barack Obama also lost a substantial amount of states, and he didn't overtake Hillary Clinton until around May or June. And furthermore, in the next 10 to 12 states, well, they all lean towards Bernie Sanders. They all favor Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton because there are no more southern states. We've moved away from them finally, and we are now getting to pro-Bernie territory. That's a good thing. But here's the thing. Here's the bad news. Even though it's the case that Barack Obama also lost quite a bit of states, he didn't lose them by significant margins. See, the thing is that Hillary Clinton is not just winning, she's winning by substantial margins compared to Bernie Sanders, by double digits, which is problematic. In Florida, she won by around like 30 points. I don't have the numbers in front of me. And this is something that is very, very troubling. So her delegate count after tonight has increased. She was leading by a little over 200, now she's around 340 delegates. That's a big problem. So we cannot keep looking at this as a state thing. We have to look at this in terms of delegate count. And what we have to do now is any and everything to close that deficit. Because if we don't do that, we can't win. It doesn't matter how many states we win. What matters right now is the delegates. So going forward, even though these upcoming pro-Bernie states do lean heavily towards him, and he can get momentum by just winning them, well, the problem is that he can't just win them anymore. He has to win big. He has to win by really, really big margins. I haven't crunched the numbers, but everything from what I've seen online, it looks as though he has to win by about 60% in these. And that's going to be really, really tough. It's going to be really tough. It's not impossible, but that's a tough thing to do. However, he has won by pretty substantial margins in the states that he did win. But again, those were caucus states. But this is why tonight is really frustrating. It's because he didn't basically tie with her. If he would have tied with her, he could easily make up that delegate deficit, even though it's still pretty substantial. I mean, 200 is a lot. But she increased her delegate lead, and that's why we have such a problem here, and why it's so troubling. So, what do we do now? We don't quit. Why? Well, for one, I haven't even voted yet. My state goes pretty much last. And if you think that I'm going to concede when I haven't even had a say yet, I don't think so. So just for my own personal angst, I'm not quitting until Bernie says it's over. But besides that, I want everyone to think about this race in terms of delegates, not in terms of states. So going forward, if Bernie Sanders wins the next 12 states, it doesn't matter if they tie and take home the same amount of delegates. So the reason why I'm telling you this is not to demoralize you and get your hopes down, but I'm trying to help facilitate a strategy that we have to devise. If you want to win, you've got to work really hard right now. Push the pedal all the way down to the floor and go 100% in. You've got to text bank, face bank, phone bank, do canvassing, whatever you could possibly do to get the word out. We have to look at the delegate-rich states and really put in a tremendous amount of effort there. So California has a ton of delegates. If he can win big there, then he could make up a huge portion of that deficit right now in terms of delegates. The prospects have admittedly diminished of him winning. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't think anyone will deny that. But here's the thing, though. We change our strategy now. Now we really focus on getting delegates and closing that gap. I recommend visiting the Bernie Sanders subreddit because they always emphasize the grassroots part of this campaign, which I think is fundamentally important. I mean, donating is great, but actually putting in the time and effort to call people, that's going to make a huge difference. And if everyone does it, then you can really, really help. So that's my take. Stay focused. It's not impossible, but it will be difficult. It's just a matter of how hard you want to try.